start out from Dunquin. I am in Dunquin, the furthest, most western village in Ireland. Stayed at this little guest house right here. Had dinner in the pub here. Every town has a pub, they say, and you know, the great little bar pub with some food and just what you need. Nice bed and breakfast, comfortable bed, clean bathroom, clean place, nice breakfast in the morning. I'm looking out at the Blasket Islands over here. There was a community that lived there until 1953, and then they wanted to move to the mainland, and they moved from there to this little village in Dunquin, which I thought was kind of funny. Not very far and not much more civilized than probably pretty remote out there, actually, but cute little village. It's absolutely beautiful here. I've been blessed with the weather. The weather forecast does look like some rain tomorrow, but that'll be that. That'll be what it is. And other than that, all is well. Really have enjoyed this. I like getting out early, about a little before 8:30 this morning. Start breakfast at 8, had some coffee and 8, and then get right out and start walking, and you have the whole day ahead of you to kind of just, I think the key is to go slow and just keep walking, because they're long days. Yesterday I did over 15 miles from Dingle to here, and 15 miles of road and farms and trails and over hillsides. Really beautiful mix, but definitely it's nice to just be able to just keep moving slowly, and little by little you make your way, and you really do see these. I mean, it's just so lovely everywhere you look. So weather helps probably. It'd be a bit more challenging in the rain, you know, a little mucky, as they say, and which would be muddy. Can get good muddy, I'm sure, if it rains in some of the trails. But yeah, it's been fantastic. Hiking village to village in Ireland, love it. Can't wait to launch this trip spring of 2025 with Worldwide Trekking. Another day, heading to the next village. Okay, make my way along the way today. Just came across this beautiful section of beach here. Tide's out, great walking on the sand. And this whole trail is just a great combination of country roads and villages. Now I'm up on this green, grassy top of the dune kind of thing. And along some of these really big, long, sandy beaches. Really a great combination. And I'll work my way down these country roads through this next little village, and coming around the northern side of the peninsula now. And it's fantastic. The weather's perfect. A little bit of clouds today. A little drizzle this morning, but not very much. Barely had to put the jacket on. Didn't know what it was going to do, so I did. But kind of broken clouds right now, and a perfect day. Just an amazing beach here, looking out onto the sea, and walking in the grass with the cows and the sheep through the little villages. Fantastic time in Ireland. Okay, it's another beautiful day in Ireland, and I'm just about finished with my trip on the Dingle Way in Ireland, out the Dingle Peninsula. Came around on the south side of the peninsula, up around, and finished across the north side over multiple days. Went through, from Tralee to Camp to Anascule through Dingle, Dunquin, and around on the north side through villages here, and have finished right now on the end of the peninsula. It is a fantastic trip and really saw so much. I mean, from the small country roads to crossing farmland with all the sheep and horses and cows and little houses along the way, all the way through to the small villages, which have been really cool each evening. We kind of have a nice evening in a small village at a bed and breakfast, and then just really fun time. The pubs are all great. There's good food in each pub, and you can meet some of the local people. What I really hadn't thought about, but what I realized was the pubs in each town. Every town has a pub, and each one is kind of the community gathering place at the end of the day. There's no shops in those towns. There's a bunch of houses and farms and different places like that. But what they do have is a pub in town, and it's where everybody kind of comes at the end of the day and has a drink and talks and tells stories. And it was really interesting to see, and although I was alone on this trip because I'm scouting it out for a new trip for Worldwide Trekking, which we'll offer next year, I was never really alone because the local villagers and community members were always willing to talk and ask questions and have good conversations and tell stories, and it was really fun. And I gotta say, the landscape here, absolutely gorgeous. The green landscape and all of the farms and all of the little country lanes, really beautiful, and a great way to see part of this country, a very small part of Ireland, but a beautiful part nonetheless. You have the Atlantic Ocean, and you have the villages that dot its landscape along the way on this route, and it's been a really fun hike from place to place and walking long distances. Usually you're walking more than 10 miles a day, 11, 12, 13, 14, even 15 miles a day. But not very challenging terrain, but long distance, which makes it challenging for sure. Especially for me, I wasn't as used to walking on the pavement. A lot of the country roads are paved, and aren't on them all the time, but walking on the pavement's definitely new to me, and I'm used to walking on the trails and on dirt paths, things like that, which there was also a lot of. We also walked a lot on off-trail areas and paths and old roads that were dirt and things like that. So it was a huge variety, but really a fun trip. I gotta say, I feel a little sad to see it end. And it's just such a neat way to walk, get up in the morning at a bed and breakfast. The innkeepers were always so nice and friendly and make a nice breakfast for you, and then you set out for the day and with a packed lunch, and away you go and slowly just make your way along, and you pass through some farms and some housing areas on the sea, and then by the day's end you're at the next village and at the next bed and breakfast, and at the next pub that evening for dinner. And I really enjoyed it. It was really beautiful. The landscape is beautiful. I mean, just you can see out here the sea. This is the Atlantic Ocean here, and right at the tip of the one of the areas that comes out on the peninsula. And today I'll take a ride back to Tralee, and then I'm going to take the train into Cork for my final night. and look around Cork for a little bit, and then tomorrow fly to Amsterdam and on to Salt Lake City to end this completely. But we will offer this trip next April, at the end of April, and the beginning of May, and I really like this time here. From what I can see is the weather is good, nice spring weather, and you can always have rain. You are on the island of Ireland in the Atlantic Ocean. You can have rainy days. I had one day that was a little rainy, but other than that, mostly nice weather, good temperatures in the springtime here this time of year. And what was really nice is very uncrowded from the tourist season, which will probably be more like July and August, maybe into September. But I think we're preceding the heavy tourist season, and most days, pretty much every day, I walked alone for the entire day. I saw very few people along the way. I'd see people at the bed and breakfasts that were doing the walk as well, and we'd talk a little bit, but during the day I would be by myself walking, which was very peaceful, listening to the birds chirp and talking to the sheep and the horses as I walked by. But aside from that, very, very peaceful walking, not very crowded at all, no crowd at all, and a really great experience throughout. So we are excited to offer this with Worldwide Trekking in 2025. We'll start in April and May, and we'll look forward to doing the Dingle Way and on the Dingle Peninsula here in today the sunny southwest coast of Ireland, and flying into Cork and out of Cork at the end, and looking forward to some great years here in Ireland running this trek for Worldwide Trekking.